Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Elder Scrolls readings. This is Fav'te's War of Betony by Fav'te. Could there be a better proof of the natural perversity of Bretons than their conduct before, during, and after what history will remember as the War of Betony? By the most depraved of motivations, the most despicable of tactics, and the most ungentlemanly, the most ungentlemanly of triumphs. The kingdom of Daggerfall changed the nature of warfare in the Illic Bay, and perhaps over all of Tamriel. In Sentinel, we call the recent carnage the Siege of Betony. But as the book of history is writ by the victors, let us speak instead of the War of Betony. Red Guards, by their natures, are a modest and practical people. We are not phlegmatic like the High Elves, nor cowardly like the Wood Elves and Khajiiti. But what would infuriate and enrage the swaggering and vainglorious Nords and Bretons would not merit a shrug from a Red Guard. Had any Breton kingdom possessed the little island of Betony, it would have been covetously guarded. Betony's trade would have been seriously restricted, its religion subjugated, its people bound by active and constant pledges of duty of vassalage. But Betony was not a Breton dominion. Betony was part of the kingdom of Sentinel. King Lysandus, may the old ones continue to torment his soul for his wickedness, saw the prosperous island, which is closer to his land than to Sentinel, and his black heart turned to avarice. Through threats, lies, acts of piracy, and finally invasion, Daggerfall illegally took possession of the island of Betony. His court sorceress, the Lady Medora, his enchantress mother, and other experienced counselors were horrified by the brutality of his campaign and begged him to abandon his tyrannical act of war. Gradually, all dissenters were removed from this court, but none but the ignorant and the warmongers remained. Our late King Cameron tried to employ civil diplomacy with Daggerfall, but in the end, he made the formal declaration of war. Daggerfall and Sentinel have fought many times in their 2,000 years of coexistence. Cameron knew the black magic and espionage the Bretons considered honest warfare, never debasing the Sentinel character by duplicating the Breton villainy. Cameron knew best how to combat Lysandus. King Lysandus' knavish battle tactics were even more perfidious than his ancestors. The war continued to rage until it began to involve more than Sentinel and Daggerfall. Lord Graddock, ruler of Rishgrad Keep, acted as conciliator between Sentinel and Daggerfall, and eventually convinced both monarchs to meet and make peace. The ill-fated Treaty of Grad Keep began civilly. The terms of peace were discussed, agreed on, and set to paper. The terms were excessively generous. Cameron had agreed to give up some of his rights to Betony in order to placate the madness of Lysandus and bring peace back to Illic Bay. It was not until King Cameron read the treaty that he was about to sign that he realized the outrageous perfidy of the Bretons. The treaty had actually been purposefully miswritten by the Daggerfall scribe in a desperate and ignominious, that's a word, attempt to trick Cameron into signing a contract different from the one to which he had agreed. The castle of Reichstrad Keep erupted into a bloodbath, and the war continued. The Battle of Cringane Field was the tragic ending of the senseless war of attrition. The Cringane Field is located between Yorth Boroland and the Ravinian Forest, where the armies of Sentinel and Daggerfall respectively made camp after the massacre of Reichsgrad Keep. As the battle began, Daggerfall proved that she had some foul Daedric magical tricks left by blinding the Red Guard army with a wall of mist. Lysandus did not have the opportunity to gloat over his cozenage for long, for the sure arm of a Sentinel archer struck him in the throat, even through the thick and swirling fog. Lysandus' son, Gothrid, who had spent the battle in lugubri- lugubrious relaxation, was crowned without ceremony, and thereupon demanded a duel with King Cameron. Cameron was many years Gothred's senior, and though a superior warrior, was exhausted from the endless warfare. The boy king had been spared. Nevertheless, a point of honor, our king agreed to the duel. The new king of Daggerfall, by dirty trick and black magic, managed to backstab our king before the duel ever began. Thus, the victor of Kryn gained field, and the war of Betony was Daggerfall. Daggerfall's wickedness continued even after her inglorious victory. While the widow queen of Sentinel, her majesty Agarithi, mourned and tried to mend her shattered lands, Gothred demanded the princess of Sentinel as a hostage of war. To save her homeland, the princess Albiki agreed to leave Sentinel and even marry the murderer of her father. But we true Redguards of Sentinel know where her love and honor lies. The Queen of Daggerfall is the princess of Sentinel, first and foremost. Have an awesome day and a good night.